Okay, great. Thank you very much for coming. Today we're going to talk about the topic here about the fighting DDoS attack with Mikrotik. So this webinar is supposed to be launched on April 6, which was last week, but unfortunately there was a problem. Uh, the platform that we are using was having a problem, so that the webinar must be postponed up to today, okay, next week's after. Right, okay, so I hope you guys still eager to enjoy the webinar, and then hopefully you can follow this webinar um, yeah, with your own good. The agenda of this webinar today, our introduction. We'll talk about the DDoS attack and then mitigations, maybe some demo. And then after that, we can discuss question and answer. Okay, next is about the GLC. GLC is Garda Lintas Cakrawala, www.glcnetworks.com. We are based in Indonesia. We are from Indonesia, and also we are Indonesian. Our areas, our focus area are training and IT consulting. We are Mikrotik certified training partner, Mikrotik certified consultant, and then distributor. And also about this webinar, this is our first webinar was in 2010, January 1st. Yeah, so it's a new year. So at the time we discussed Solaris, okay, Solaris operating system. So webinar is an event for sharing experience, real experience about Linux, networking, wireless, database, programming, whatever. Our regular schedule is every 2 weeks. Irregular schedule, okay, as needed, like what we are doing today. And if you want to see our schedule, just log into our website, www.glcnetworks.com/main/schedule. If you want to be a presenter, you just send us an email, and then we will set up a webinar for you. Okay, next is about the trainer or presenter of today's webinar. So my name is Achmad Mardiansyah. I'm staying in Bandung. I use Linux since 1999. At the time, Linux was it's already developed, but was not much compared to what we have today. I also use Linux since 2007. I'm certified trainer for MTCNA, RE. RE means routing engineer, WE, UME, INE, TCE, and also Mikrotik certified consultant. My previous work was telco engineer, sysadmin. Sometimes I do some programming and then teaching in the university. My personal websites, you can visit achmadjournal.com, and then if you want to connect through LinkedIn, you can do so, and just open LinkedIn, type your name, and then you're good to go. About yourself, I think we can just keep it. I think most of you can connect to the internet with a good connection, right? Okay, so maybe you can connect from the from fiber optics or from ADSL. So, but the thing is, you don't have to worry if you connect to this webinar. Maybe not that smooth as you think because of the network problem. You don't have to worry about that because we always record this webinar and then upload it on YouTube. Okay, back to the topic. What is Mikrotik? Mikrotik is a name of company. They are from Latvia. It's a brand. It's a program. For example, Mikrotik Academy. and then their headquarters is in Riga, Latvia. Riga is the capital city of Latvia. Latvia is a small country in Europe. Okay, where is Latvia? You can see on the map here. I think it's located next to Estonia. Mikrotik produces two products. First is the RouterOS. It's the operating system that's specialized for networking. For more information, just go to mikrotik.com, and then if you want to download their evaluation product, you can do so, and then install it on your virtual machine. They also produce hardware. Their hardware is called router board. It is the hardware, and then inside there is a RouterOS installed. If you want to know more about router board, just go to www.routerboard.com. Okay, why do they make the router board, the hardware? Because RouterOS itself is not that good. Okay, not that good. Not good. They're good. I mean, it is not that convenient if we are using Mikrotik in PC, for example. Yeah. So you so they distribute Mikrotik as a CD image, and then you have to burn that image to a CD-ROM, and then boot the CD-ROM from the you boot the CD-ROM drive, and then load the content, and then make your PC to become a Mikrotik router. Yes, you can do that, but unfortunately that kind of thing we can install, that PC cannot last long. Okay, it cannot be put in the very quite difficult area, for example on ceiling, inside the cave, yeah, because normal PC requires more maintenance compared to the router board, right? So that's why they built the hardware, and then that hardware is very good, consume low power, low space, and then can be put almost anywhere. Okay, what RouterOS can do, you just go to mikrotik.com. What is Mikrotik RouterOS? You can download the product catalog, download the newsletter if you wish, yeah, and then yeah, just go with the manual. All right. Okay, I'm going to post the webinar here a little bit. Okay. Yeah, that was the RouterOS. Now we talk about the competency of the Mikrotik. So Mikrotik certifications is like this. Right, okay, so these are the Mikrotik training and certifications. First, you need to go to MTCNA. It's a very basic training or knowledge for getting known to the Mikrotik world. So start from MTCNA, you can continue to MTCRE, routing engineer, and then wireless engineer, traffic control TC, UME, user manager engineer, and then if you want to continue, and then you can go to MTCINE here, internet networking engineer. If this already expired, if the certificate has expired, and then you need to renew. Validity is 3 years. If both are expired, you can continue to last one. Okay, so if you have questions, and then you can just type it here, then we can just discuss it directly. So about the DDoS. Okay, the topic now is about DDoS. Oh, okay. DDoS means distributed denial of service. So we will discuss the DOS first. DOS. DOS means denial of service. Yeah. So it's
unmuted.
oh, okay. Yeah. So it was. Sorry. Now it's back here. Okay. Empty sharing not pass. Okay. Never mind. You can continue your MTCNA in our place. We're going to open an MTCNA class in May. Okay. If you're interested, you can join our class. No worries. So let's talk about the DOS. DOS means denial of service. DOS is condition where a server cannot provide its service. All right. So you have a server. Yes, like a what is server? Server actually is a service. Okay, it's a software that provides a certain function. For example, web server, FTP server, email server, what kind of server, whatever server. Okay, so those servers, okay, provide service. Okay, yeah, I mean like the name said, server service. Okay, but unfortunately in this condition, because they have the DOS, so denial of service, so they're supposed to serve a request. They're supposed to um, open a request, display a web page, but unfortunately they cannot do it because so many reasons. Okay, maybe too many incoming requests, very common reason. Server busy, and because server busy, server reject incoming requests and denial. So no further requests coming in. Okay, so one reason, it is very common reason, is because too many requests. For example, uh, news website. Okay, so if somebody if somebody is very famous, is doing something, something is happening, people are really eager to find the latest news. Okay, so usually the news website is one example of DOS. Okay, if there are lots of visitors coming to the website, and then most likely it's going to be down. Okay, for several minutes, or maybe for several hours. Yeah, because there's so many requests coming. Okay, and then some reasons, wrong configuration of the server. Maybe somebody already attacked the server, so that the server is not able to serve the request. Some common target for DOS are web server, FTP server, DNS server, remote access like uh, Telnet or SSH. Those could be target too. Okay, what if the request is real? Yeah. So yeah, popular website versus DOS. So we know that DOS is server cannot do its service. Okay, they're supposed to serve a web page. Okay, if we open the website, they supposed to uh, display their web page. Okay, but unfortunately this time is not, because they are being attacked. So what happens if all requests are real? Yeah, so sometimes it's quite difficult to distinguish whether the is it a real request from everybody, or this is just a DOS attack. Okay, sometimes we need to distinguish that. Okay, so we don't have to jump into the conclusion too quickly. So, but yeah, we need to have a proof, valid proof that okay, so we are under attack now. So how does this happen? Okay, for example, if there is an update is released. Okay, so for example, if you have iPhone or web apps, or you want to release an update, so people downloading from your website. So at that time, people are requesting lots of requests, lots of query to your a server, and then your server, if the requests are too many, okay, so the servers are busy and then cannot serve more requests. So, but this type of request is normal, okay. For example, another example is sudden events like new site effect. For example, we have there is an earthquake in a certain country, okay. So most likely news site uh, is the one who is having that experience, right? For example, rush hour, okay. So people wants to so during rush hour, people are rush hour is the interval, is the time interval where people do many activity at a time. For example, they want to go to their office or coming from their office, or rush hour is like yeah that those are example of rush hour. Another rush hour is like when it's close to the deadline, okay. So for example, we have application that requires people to submit, for example, for tax report every year, yeah. So when it's close to the deadline, usually server is busy. Yeah, this is what is an example of DOS, denial of service. Or the last one here, attackers set up a computer that generates lots of requests to the target and then keep doing it until server is busy. This is not normal. Okay, so again, we need to distinguish between this is an attack or just normal request. Okay, so at least we know how the DOS happens to our website, and then what would be the function of Mikrotik in this manner. So what is, you already know the definitions of DOS, the denial of service, and then how to do the denial of service. Not the technical, but just the principle of how the DOS is done. Okay, so DOS, lots of requests coming to the server, and then server gets busy. Attacker can generate lots of requests to the target, and then target will see that, okay, so this we are having a lots of requests, and then I'm too busy serving these requests. Okay, so what are the reason why do people do DOS? Can be, so in this time it's a attack type DOS, not like normal one when you have an update or there is a viral news where people are really eager to see that news. So this time is the DOS attack, real DOS attack. So for example, because of the business competitions, so I'm an online shop, and then I have a competition with the other vendors. So the competitors launch the attack to against their competitors, so that their server is busy, so that customer will go to my website. Okay. Some are, for example, for showing off. Okay. So somebody from some 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 places okay, launch a DOS attack, okay, and then claiming, okay, this attack is from this one, okay, maybe showing off and for fun, okay. Maybe I don't have something that I'm doing, okay, let's make it for fun. I don't have something to do, gak ada kerjaan, yeah. So let's do it. Attract attention, okay. Yeah, similar like what you're showing off. Hidden other facts, okay. So for example, we do the um, hiding other facts. So for example, we have an attack. For example, we have security a banking website, for example, or e-commerce. Actually, they do something, but they want to cover it up. For example, with the DOS attack. So attention goes to that DOS attack because that one is really obvious, but the real fact is hidden over there, is behind that. Okay. Yeah, diversion of public attentions, and then any other reason. So you just name it. Okay, so here somebody is asking. Sorry, my English is just little. Okay, that's what he's saying. Is there any tutorial step-by-step Indonesian? Perhaps, yeah. Open public IP was really attract to other attention. Yeah, yeah, of course, yeah. So usually e-commerce website they must use a public IP address. Okay, if you don't use a public IP address, how can people connect to your website, right? If you don't use IP address, and then that's the internet, right? So internet is there. People can connect to you, and then you can connect to other people. So that's the nature of the internet, right? Uh, yeah, uh, yeah. That's the consequence of being part of the internet. Okay, so you cannot when you say you connect to the internet, no, actually you are part of the internet. Okay, because you are part of the internet, so it means that you can connect to other. You can connect to other IP address, IP public IP address, and then other IP address can connect to you. Okay. Yeah, so yeah, please be careful when you are in the internet. Okay, everybody can connect to everybody. Okay, uh, by doing good thing or bad thing. So you have to be careful with both of them. So next is the DDoS. DDoS means distributed DOS. Okay, so DDoS means DOS attack that is distributed to many computers, and then well, how can these many computers is programmed or done to attack one target. Okay, so that is because are there many operators that do the distributed DOS here? The answer is no. Okay, so how can those computers is programmed is doing something to attack at the same time? So because those computers are compromised because maybe you're installing a virus, you install that kind of software, okay? So that could make the computers like a zombie, yeah? So zombie or victims, so that your computer can be controlled from the from 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 the internet, okay? So if yeah, so if there are so many requests, so this compromised computer, maybe your laptop is part of them. If you're not really careful with what you're doing with your laptop, you're installing a pirated software, yeah, Windows bajakan, software bajakan, yeah, pirated software, pirated operating system. So inside the operating system, inside this software, that can be a malware. Okay, so which can do something nasty in your operating system. Okay, so they can turn your computer into a, a robot. Okay, so you know robot, right? So they take orders from their master, right? And then the master said that okay, and now we're going to attack that website. So yeah, you just follow their order. Okay, so that's the definition of DDoS attack. DDoS. So the question is, how do I know it is a DOS? Okay, yeah. So first is from your monitoring system. It's very common. Okay. So it is crucial if you're working in organization, small organization or big organization, doesn't matter. Okay, so DDoS can attack anyone. Okay, anyone. If you have a hole in your system, they don't care whether you are a warnet or whether you are a home. What is it? A, home, a little home. Okay. and then many things. Okay. Yeah, single computer can be a target. Doesn't matter. Okay, they don't care. Okay, the thing is they want to hack you. Okay, they want to make your computer turn into they want to turn your computer into the zombie, so that they can they can control your resources. Okay, for example, here on top right, okay, there is a CPU high, okay, high usage on the CPU, so that I have monitoring system. Okay, in this case, I'm checking my own CPU usage, and then from that, I can see that my CPU usage is very high, as you can see here. And then one of the modules that making it high is the DNS. So I have a DNS, and then DNS is public at the times. The firewall was not yet configured, uh, so that the attacker knows. Oh, okay, there is an open DNS there. Okay, let's attack. So we call it DNS amplification attack. And then the CPU usage is very high, and then also the DNS module in the Mikrotik is also very high. Okay, next is for monitoring system, like at the bottom left here. Okay, so usually the traffic consumption is that level. Okay, never reach 75%, but this time is very high. What's going on? Okay, so you can see suspicious activities from your monitoring system, right? Yeah, for monitoring system. So that's why monitoring system is very crucial for your organization. Okay, if you don't have one, and then you should make it one. Okay, but we already have monitoring system like checking the CPU. Yes, like on the graph over here. Okay, the CPU usage on the picture at the top right. Okay, yes, you can see it, but unfortunately that kind of monitoring is just a real-time monitoring. Okay, the best thing for recognize the DDoS attack is uh, the timeline, the monitoring that have timeline series, so that you can compare the data, or you can read the data from uh, uh, from from a while ago. Okay, from the past. Yeah, from one day ago, 2 days ago, 1 week ago. You compare to what happening 1 day ago with current situation. So usually, for example, usually at 6 o'clock p.m. Okay, 18 o'clock, traffic usually goes down because, for example, in Indonesia, many people are going for Maghrib praying. Okay, yeah, it is the traffic goes down, but this time, why the traffic is still high? What's going on? Okay, are there some people attacking my one of my clients or servers? Yeah, there must be a questions like that. Others source for DDoS attack is log, server log. Okay, as you can see on the bottom right here. Okay, it's a log from SSH. Yeah, so you can see there are many attempts for SSH incoming SSH connection, right? And then the people there in the internet is really try to get into my server using a different combination of username and password. So what about mitigation? We already know that, okay, we are under attack. Okay, what's next? Right, that's what we call mitigation. So what should I do if I'm under attack? So for example, I think we can divide it into two parts. First, the passive. So set up intrusion detection in front of the servers to detect an attack. Okay, set up firewall in front of the servers so that it can suppress the incoming traffic, and then apply the black hole on your router. So this kind of technique can be applied in Mikrotik. Okay, and then all of them are classified from as a passive attack. So it means that you are just passive receiving the attack. Okay. Maybe you can also do active approach. For example, do coordination with CERT. CERT means Cyber Emergency Response Team. Usually every country has their own CERT. And in Indonesia, we have ID CERT, Indonesia Cyber Emergency Response Team. So just report to them. Okay, they have their website, and then they are all also ready 24/7. So they have shift working with in their organizations. And then the CERT will inform the origin ISP about the IP address that is doing the attack. Okay, so I know the IP address is from this ISP, right? So you inform that ISP that, okay, one of your IP address is attacking my client. Okay, basically you just inform them, and hopefully they will reply, and then they will continue for investigation, and then blah blah blah. But yeah, that is active attack, but cannot guarantee that they will reply you immediately, and that's doing the investigation of what the IP address is done. But at least you have done a coordination with them. Okay, so that was the mitigation. So the next question is what Mikrotik can do for this one. Well, Mikrotik is a very powerful box. Mikrotik can be used for intrusion detection, okay, firewall, okay. So for example, for intrusion detection, you can use firewall features in Mikrotik. For example, connection limit. I'm sorry. You can use firewall, okay. It is recommended to use a row table. So you can see my firewall row presentation in Mikrotik User Meeting London 2016. Okay, so there I was doing a presentation about the row table. You can see that for more details about the row table. And then you can apply blackhole, so using blackhole feature on router. Right, so that was how Mikrotik can be used for intrusion detection, yeah, for mitigating the DDoS attack. Okay, so as intrusion detection, you can use firewall mangle. Okay, first the connection limit, so it means that it can detect connection limits up to that limit. So there in this example, we define that the connection limits is up to 100 connection per IP address /22. I'm sorry, /32, not 22. Sorry, my mistakes. So /32, it means that every single IP address, right? So every single IP address we define here. If you are making more than 100 requests per second, okay, and then this rule will be triggered. Next, you can do a limit. Okay, check the limit. So how many rate packet per second from that IP address? Okay, or destination limit. Okay, here match when a given rate is exceeded. Okay, so if it exceeded, so if there is more than 1 second per one request per second, and then this rule is active. Okay, limit by destination address, or can be any other. Okay, expire for several seconds. Next is PSD. PSD is port scan detection. So that one, if somebody is attacking you using, so usually the attacker are probing the port that is open in the server. Okay, so usually they are making many requests to different ports. Okay, check port 25 and then check port 20 whether it's open or not. Check many other ports. Okay, and then yeah, getting information from those ports. Okay, so all of them you can use in you can use those features in mangle rule. Okay, mangle table. So you know Mikrotik is using IP tables developed from NetFilter, and then in NetFilter we have IP tables. Okay, tables, you know, tables, and then we have three main tables there. We have filter table, we have NAT table, we have mangle table, right? Right. So yeah, with those mangle table, we can use the mangle for identify the attacker. So here we identify the source IP address of the attacker, and then once we build the address list of attacker, and then we can do something on it. Okay, for example, we can use Mikrotik for a firewall here. So we use route table with pre-routing change uh, for uh, for IP address that is trying to access our server. Okay. Okay. So why do we use row table here? You can see a row rule. Okay. For example, chain is pre-routing, table is row, protocol is UDP, destination port 553 or 123. Okay. And then incoming interface is ether1. Ether1 is the incoming interface. So it's the interface that goes to the internet, that connects to the internet where the attacker is coming. Right, next. Okay, if you have any questions, feel free to do so. Okay, next is Mikrotik for blackhole. So if you open Mikrotik routing table, there is a feature named blackhole. Okay, so the type here is the blackhole. So usually when you create a new routing entry, what do you put? Usually you put destination IP address, gateway, and then that's it, right? Sometimes you, okay, if you have if you have if you know more a little bit, then you can check you can use the check gateway features like ping or ARP. And if you want to know more, if you are MTCRE routing engineer, and then we learn about what is the black hole. Okay, here we also we define uh, uh, type routing type equals to black hole. Then we apply with the destination that equals to 0000. So any so that means and the meaning of this rule is any address. If you want to go to any address where your routing mark is traffic minus black hole, as you can see in routing mark here, okay, below the target scope, see, routing mark equals to traffic minus black hole, and then we will classify this entry or this packet to become a black hole. Black hole means the packets will be dropped in the router. So it's similar then to the firewall then. Yes, it is similar. The purpose is same for blocking the incoming access, incoming traffic, but black hole is much more friendly CPU. It's much more CPU friendly. Okay, so if you have questions, okay, you can feel free to do so. If you are interested, please come to our training. Okay, so we'll open Mikrotik training in May. You can check the schedule in our website. So there we open MTCNA, RE, routing engineer, and then internet networking engineer. Okay. Right. Okay. So I have one question here. Black hole is CPU friendly compared to firewall. Yes. Yes. So that's why you put black hole. So the purpose is the same. Okay. But the CPU usage is different. So the one that we use black hole is we use black hole via help of routing policy. Okay, you know routing policy, right? Routing policy or firewall mangle. So we just mark the packets. Okay, so this incoming packet, we mark the packet first and then we put black hole on that. So because you should understand the place where you apply the mangle. Okay, because we are applying the black hole on uh, on routing table, and then this routing table will be done before the uh, forward chain. So you know, in Mikrotik we have 5 chains, right? We have pre-routing, input, output, forward, and then post-routing. So the reading of routing table is happening after the pre-routing chain and before input chain and before forward chain. Okay, so we apply the black hole in that position. Okay, so we must apply our mangle before we read our routing table. Okay, so for that one, okay, so for firewall we have another class, we have another discussion. If you want to know about a black hole, then please read our webinar related to firewall, how the firewall works. Okay, any questions? Oh, see, maybe I missed that thing, black hole in your MTCRE. Okay, so you should read again. Okay, black hole is important, especially. Well, not so many people understand the black hole. Not only many people apply black hole in their networks, but that one is important. Okay, any other questions? Any other questions? So sorry guys, we use English here because well, yeah, somebody wants to join our webinar, our online class here, and then yeah, he's not the person is not from Indonesia, so we speak English. Okay, any questions? No questions? Right, if there is no questions, and then I think it is a good time to say goodbye, and then we're going to have a meeting next week. Okay, we're supposed to have a meeting every 2 weeks. Okay, but this week is special. We're supposed to have this meeting last week. Okay, so see you again next week. Okay. Okay, so here's you have one comment here. Thank you for the webinar. Ready to secure my router. Okay, thank you very much. You are welcome. Okay, have a nice securing your router. Okay, I hope everybody can get the benefit from this webinar. Okay, so hopefully now you can get more understanding about the DDoS attack on the router and then everything. At least you have an idea what the DDoS is, then how to mitigate the DDoS with your Mikrotik router. Okay. Well, thank you very much. See you again in the different topic. Okay. See you. Bye.